Good afternoon. Welcome to the Recovering Perfectionist Mama Grace in Progress podcast. I'm Buffy. And if you are a first-time viewer, welcome. Happy to have you. If you're a returning viewer, we're also happy to have you. Thank you. So for those of you who have not tuned in before, I am a women's lifestyle creator on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, dealing with topics such as marriage and family and children, as well as mental health, self-empowerment, self-improvement, other lifestyle issues such as health and nutrition, biohacking, cycle syncing, mindset, journaling, all those things to try to help us level up. My ultimate goal is to arm you with information so that you can utilize it, level up in whatever area of life that you are wanting to level up in, and be an example for your children if you have children, to be able to show them what a good life is all about and living a good life and following your dreams, and that be part of our legacy, or at least that's what I would like to think, right? Because leveling up is important. And I have this goal about having a community of women who are focused on all the things that they've wanted, such as leveling up, being an example for their children, all the things, right? Because, weren't we sold the bill of goods that we could have it all? Let's have it all. Let's try it, right? So today we are going to talk about how to set boundaries, how to stop manipulative people from draining you. Can any of you relate to that? I know I can. I am not only a recovering perfectionist, but I'm also a recovering people pleaser in my spare time. How many of you can relate to that? I'm sure many of you can. So this is a topic I think that women are almost conditioned to be, just because it's like we're caregivers, we're caretakers, we are compassionate, we have empathy for other people, and try to always be helpful, a lot of us. So there's kind of that baked in to who we are. And the more people we help, the better we feel, right? We want to help people. We want to help them feel better. We don't want anyone to be sad. We don't want anyone to feel like left out or lonely or frustrated. So, hello friends. Welcome back. Today's episode is I know many of you have struggled with. Because if you're an empathetic person, a nurturer, or someone who just wants to keep the peace, which I often do, chances are you've been taken advantage of by people who see your kindness as weakness, by manipulators who twist boundaries into guilt trips, by selfish people who show up when it benefits them. How many of us know all those people? Ding, 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 ding. We're diving deep into the art and science of setting and maintaining boundaries with those exact people. This is not about cutting everyone off or being cold. It's about self-respect and emotional safety. Understanding manipulation. Let's start with clarity, because when you name the behavior, you take away its power. Manipulation isn't always obvious. It can sound like, wow, I guess I can't count on you anymore. I just thought you were different. After everything I've done for you. Sound familiar? That's emotional leverage. It's designed to make you doubt yourself, feel guilty, and backtrack on your boundary. How many of you has it worked on? Right? I remember a particular relative that I had where I was learning a lot about like gaslighting and certain other manipulative behaviors. And I realized that every single tactic had been used on me. And that was extremely frustrating, extremely sad, just disheartening. Manipulators thrive on three things. Confusion. If you're questioning yourself, they win. Guilt. If you feel bad for protecting yourself, they also win. Control. If they can steer your emotions, they can steer your actions. Once you spot the pattern, you can interrupt it. Why empathetic people get targeted. Manipulators can smell empathy a mile away. You feel things deeply. You hate disappointing people, and you try to see the good in everyone. How many of you relate to that description? But here's the truth. Empathy without boundaries becomes self-destruction. Kindness without discernment becomes self-sabotage. You're not weak. You're wired for connection, but you need strategy. Think of boundaries like emotional fences, not walls. Fences protect your space. They don't isolate you. Let's talk about the boundary framework. Let's talk about how to actually set boundaries that you're going to stick to. even with the most manipulative personalities. Step 1, get clear on what's not okay. You can't enforce what you haven't defined. Write it out. It's not okay for someone to yell at me. It's not okay for someone to guilt trip me for saying no. And how many times do you feel like you've been guilt tripped? Oh, I have no one. I'm all by myself in this world. Like, what would I do? Like, I just don't know. Like, I just can't. And oftentimes, a lot of this is learned helplessness. And that person doesn't want to do the task. And they know that you'll happily do it just to keep the peace. That's what it's about. It's not okay to have my time disrespected. Clarity equals confidence. Step 2, communicate calmly and directly. Keep it simple. I'm not available for that. That doesn't work for me. I'm comfortable doing this, but not that. Or a simple one-word sentence, no. No long explanations, no justifications. They're not entitled to that. They're asking you for assistance. You're not asking them for assistance. Manipulators feed off details. The more you say, the more they twist. Expect pushback. The first time you enforce a boundary, they'll test it. You might hear, you've changed, meaning you no longer bend over backwards for me, and I don't like that. You're so selfish now. Meaning again, I want my selfish desire, and you're being selfish for not giving it to me. Wow, you're really full of yourself. I mean, think about how terrible that would be to say to someone. That's emotional manipulation disguised as feedback. When that happens, don't debate. Repeat your boundary like a broken record. Calm, neutral, and firm. No. I understand you're upset, but this is my decision. Emotional resilience, the key to following through. Here's the hardest part. Sticking to your boundary when someone's pushing your emotional buttons. When guilt kicks in, ask yourself, am I actually doing something wrong? Because I feel like oftentimes when we tell people no, we get this immediate guilt reaction. Or am I just giving them what they want? Manipulative people rely on emotional discomfort. They count on you feeling bad enough to cave. So your job is to stay steady. Breathe. Ground yourself. Remind yourself that guilt is not the same as wrongdoing. Boundaries are uncomfortable, not because they're wrong, but because they're new. Especially if you've been the person who's done everything for this person up until this point when you're like, I'm done, I'm over it, I can't. I don't have time, I have children to take care of, I have other obligations that are more pressing than what you need me to do. Scripts for common manipulative scenarios. Let's get practical. Here are a few quick responses you can borrow. Scenario 1, the guilt tripper. After everything I've done for you, response, I appreciate what you've done, but that doesn't mean I owe you my peace. Scenario 2, the victim player. I have one of these, actually both of these. I guess I'm just the bad guy now. Response, I'm not assigning blame, I'm just setting limits. Scenario 3, the boundary tester. Oh, come on, it's not a big deal. Response, it may not be a big deal for you, but it is for me, and I'm sticking to it. Short, calm, final. Rebuilding your energy. When you stop overgiving, you'll feel this weird emptiness at first. That's not loneliness, that's space. The space you used to fill with people who took too much. Use that space to rebuild, rest, reflect, reconnect with people who respect your boundaries. Remember, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow. Boundaries are not walls, they're invitations for healthy connections. You can be kind and still say no. You can be compassionate and still have limits. You can love people and still protect your peace. That's not selfish, that's self-respect. If this episode hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tag me with your takeaways. You deserve relationships built on respect, not guilt. And it all starts with one simple, powerful word: no. So I hope that you enjoyed the message today. And if it meant something to you, feel free to like and subscribe, as well as leave a comment if you like. Also, I'm always open to hear ideas about topics that you might be interested in. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.